there we go. And we'll go back to here. Okay, so if you were not on the video or in the presentation that we did with Orla Killian, please go to my website and you can view the video there, because she gave an awful lot of really good information about our trip, about our itinerary, and about Ireland itself. And so we're not going to go over that tonight. But what I did want to do is just highlight some of the things that she talked about. And one of the things that she did is she asked the question, why visit Ireland? And so she did speak quite a bit about the people. She talked about this presentation is really slow. Just some of the, because it's such a small country, it's very easy to get around and very easy to see one place to the next. And I'm gonna probably have to like hit advance like really fast because this is not advancing. Sorry. Wow. I don't know if it's frozen or what. The scenery is stunning. That was one of the things I think that struck me the most, is I can't believe how rugged some of those places are. And where I thought I was going to be quickly going through this, I'm seeing I'm not. I don't want to hit it too many times, because what happens is then it'll flip all of a sudden a bunch of slides. So I don't know why. I had trouble with it earlier today too, and I don't know why, if there was something in the background or what, but. Huh. Yeah, that's what I was afraid would happen. Okay, so and some of these, like the rock formations and some of the other things were just fascinating too. Then also because of the history and the culture of the country, and some of the places that we'll be visiting, of course, have been in ruins for thousands of years, but it's actually kind of neat to be able to go visit them as ruins and not rebuilt. And then, of course, the beautiful Irish music, which we were listening to earlier, and some of the inclusions that we'll be experiencing on our tour. And that is every day we'll have our breakfast, a full Irish breakfast included. 5 of our dinners will be included, and that includes a farewell dinner on the last evening. And then on the other 2 nights, you're going to be free to explore, and you might want to just go into one of the many pubs in the town and get a feel for the local culture, or find a restaurant. You'll just be able to, or eat at the hotel if you want, but you'll just be able to eat dinner on your own. It'll be your choice. All the admissions to the places we'll be visiting are included. And then, of course, any entertainment that we come across will be included too. We are staying in first-class accommodations, except for the night when we stay in Lough Eske Castle, and we are actually upgrading from first class to deluxe, and it's 5-star. More about that in a little while, but these are some photos actually of some of the places we will be staying in. The one at the top right, the Wyatt Hotel, is in Westport, and that one at the bottom is in Dublin, our hotel in Dublin. And then, of course, yes, the entertainment going along with the music. So I just wanted to kind of recap those, because I do want to ask you a question, and that is, what are you looking forward to most about our visit to Ireland? So what I would like you to do is, if you don't feel like answering, you don't have to, but if you do want to answer and you've thought of it, and maybe those slides kind of sparked your memory or your curiosity, you can put up your hand, and I'm actually going to stop the screen share so we can see everybody. And yeah, put up your hand and use that little button on the bottom. If you can't find it, just put up your hand like this. I know it's hard if you're on an iPad or an iPhone. And then, yeah, go ahead and unmute Dawn. You go ahead. Actually, yeah. Can you unmute yourself? There we go. So Dawn, what are you looking forward to most?
Oh, just Ireland. I enjoy Ireland very much. I mean, there's a lot of history there for both, you know, the Frasers and the Smiths.
Okay, for those of you that don't know, Don is my brother-in-law, and he and my sister Marianne have visited Ireland a few times, and so he's going to be our resident expert.
Uh-oh.
Or we'll call you that anyway, whether you are or not, I don't know. But
well,
so you might have a favorite place that you've been to that we are going to be revisiting. And did any of those places kind of spark a memory?
Talking to me?
Yeah, Don, you.
Oh, Port Rush is really interesting. Of course, there's the stones too. That's fascinating. But just being able to see for me, being able to see the South Coast, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, the South. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a minute too. The South Coast. Anybody else want to put up their hand or unmute yourself? You actually have to put your hand up so then I can unmute you. Okay, Andrea, you go ahead and unmute yourself. What are you looking forward to most?
Like Dawn, I'm interested in the history. I'm wanting to hear firsthand about the troubles that Ireland was going through. And of course, the castle.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Good. Okay, thanks. We're glad you're joining us, Andrea.
Glad to be here.
I can say about the Troubles area. We were having to be in a couple of the parades during the Troubles time when the IRA was prominent. So we had some interesting experiences with that one.
Okay, well that'll be a story for one night when we're out at the pub, or a dinner time story, I think, Don. That'll be good to hear. Okay, and for those of you who do not know Andrea, which I would think are quite a few of you, she's actually a friend of Sharon, who's on the screen tonight too. Hi, Sharon. Who else wants to share what they're looking forward to? Vicky, are you waving your hand? Here, I'll just get you to unmute yourself. Yeah. Laura's waving her hand.
Yeah. Well, I've never been to the West Coast at north, like Galway and up, and that seems like the ruggedness and, you know, just they say that's really that area up there is really the real old Irish, you know, living and everything. I think that will be really interesting to see. And anyways, something I've never seen any of Northern Ireland. So
yeah, and you've been to Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, right?
Oh yeah, my family is from. So,
but Northern is something that you haven't seen, so that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Louise, what are you looking forward to seeing?
Do I do that? Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, no, the beautiful landscape and walking through the little towns and seeing, you know, the different architecture and what it's all about, and traveling with my buddy over here. And traveling, okay. Period.
Traveling, yeah, being able to travel again, that would be huge.
And my other buddy over there, Wendy.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know Louise and Barb are going to be traveling companions. And Louise, Barb, and Wendy came with me when we did a women's walking tour of Ireland and Scotland in 2019 in the fall. So
Great.
This is going to be our next UK Ireland adventure. And they're all from the three of them are from the Aurelia area, and Wendy's husband will be coming as well. Anybody else want to say what? Oh,
I guess
ahead.
that means Wendy and I aren't sharing a room then.
yeah, that's right. You were roommates before, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Wendy decided she'd rather have her husband as a roommate. Okay, anybody else want to share what they're looking forward to? Barb, I think that was a hand. You've got to just unmute yourself. Yeah.
I'm the same with everyone else. I've read books, fiction and nonfiction about Ireland, and have seen many movies and so many things that it'd just be nice to see it in real life. And it looks so beautiful, and the people and the culture and so many things about it are just so interesting. And it'll be a trip to remember, I think. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it will be too.
And Louise, you know.
Well, and also
we'll have a good time.
I should mention that Barb and Louise have also traveled to Israel with me on a women's tour that we did to Israel. So you're like the alumni of the group.
Yeah. What's next?
Yeah. Of course, one of the great things about Ireland is their Ulster fry. Have you ever had Ulster fry?
No.
Never had Ulster fry? Oh my, you're in for a real treat.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to that.
Ulster fry is great for your cholesterol, or I should say, not so great for your
yeah.
cholesterol.
For clogging your arteries, you mean?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well then, if nobody else wants to share, I'm going to go back to the slideshow and slide deck, and because we want to take a closer look at day 5 of our itinerary. So we're not, rather than doing an overview of everything, I thought I would just focus on this day. And so this is the day when we will be in Donegal, and we will be staying overnight at the Lough Eske Castle. And that lovely photo that you see on the screen is the castle in the evening time. So I thought it would be kind of fun to show you, let me see. Yeah, okay. I thought it would be kind of fun to talk about Donegal and Lough Eske by sharing a few videos. So that's what we're going to do right now. And the first one, Donegal is known for its tweeds. And so I found this really cute video on YouTube of the Donegal tweeds that tells you a little bit about it, but also talks about how to wear tweed. So I will show you that. I can advance the thing.
Good morning, Roger. Oh, there today. Tweed is a rugged woolen cloth that derives its name from the Scottish word tweel. Or maybe the River Tweed. No one really knows. It is a plain woven textile with a twill or herringbone structure, and its manufacture is most closely associated with Scotland and Ireland. First, Scotland. Harris tweed is world famous. Woven from virgin wool in the Isles of the Outer Hebrides. It was originally worn for its weather-beating properties. A tweed three-piece is like a suit of armour, robust, warm and water-resistant. While the colours, derived from natural vegetable dyes, reflect the Highland environment. Harris tweed is even protected by its own trademark, non-genuine without the orb. Meanwhile, from the old country, Irish as a pint of Guinness, Donegal tweed developed for much the same reason, as a hardy working man's cloth. It is, however, characterised by its distinctive weave, which gives rise to slubs or random flecks of colour, which have made it more of a casual cloth. As worn by famous Irishman John Wayne in the film The Quiet Man. Like most things, tweed was popularised by the Victorians and Edwardians as hunting, shooting and fishing wear. Later, by the 1930s, the tweed jacket was the almost universal sports coat for the gentleman off duty. Tweed can be sporty, smart, casual, cool, even trendy, and has never been more popular than it is now with our return to time-tested natural fabrics. What's for sure is that tweed is here to stay, and every gentleman should have at least one well-loved tweed jacket in his wardrobe. As well as jackets, tweed is now made into all sorts of other items. Ties, luggage, wallets, caps and hats, such as the famous deerstalker worn by Sherlock Holmes. Elementary, my dear trousers. Peter Christian, The Art of Dressing.
Okay, so that was just a little glimpse of how tweed is made. But the thing is when we are in Donegal, we are going to be visiting a tweed manufacturer, and it's called Triona Design, and it's in a little town of Ardara. And we're going to be enjoying an Irish coffee while we hear about the history of Donegal tweed. And then they're going to give us a weaving demonstration as well. And that demonstration will be done on a 200-year-old hand loom. So you will also have some time to shop for tweeds. So we'll be doing that. I think that's going to be on the morning of day 5 before we get to the castle. And then we will head to Lough Eske Castle.
So we're here at the beautiful Lough Eske Castle in County Donegal on a beautiful summer sunny day as well. We're here with Lisa Marshall, who's the Director of Sales and Marketing at Lough Eske Castle. First of all, tell us a little about the history of this castle.
The castle itself, the frontage here dates back to the 1890s, but we have some historical grounds here from the 1400s. The castle was always a place to go and party, so I always say it's the Downton Abbey of Donegal because it was a hunting lodge of the British aristocracy, and we had some Welsh aristocracy as well. So it goes all the way back from having Irish owners, an American owner, and as every castle in Ireland does, you could go on and on and on about it, but essentially it was a place to come and party, a hunting lodge. And then unfortunately in the 1930s there was partied a wee bit too hard, there was a fire and the whole entire castle was shelled out, and it was abandoned for 60 years. And then our owner, who's a Donegal man, Pat Doherty, came along, bought the castle and renovated it in 2007 and brought it back to what you see here now.
So it's now a beautiful hotel with 96 rooms, I think.
That's correct,
right?
Yeah.
What sort of rooms do you have? Do they go? I take it they go from basic up to presidential type
Yeah,
suites?
we have the courtyard rooms, which are actually beautiful. They're one of my favourites, and it's our entry level, and they're at the back of the castle in the courtyard area. And some of them are pet friendly, so we have tile floors, and it's perfect for bringing your dogs on a trip as well. They're not that small. You're starting from 42, 43 square metres. They're not very small. Going all the way up to our presidential, which is just in the corner right there. And it's 2,500 square feet. Very big property, big bedroom with a 4-poster bed, and also a roll-top bath.
Very nice. Now, the other side, of course, is you have a spa and a pool here as well, which is quite an important part of the hotel.
Oh, definitely. I think people expect to come away and relax fully, and wellness is such a massive trend and has been for a long time now, and really have to encompass that as part of someone's stay. They expect it as a standard now. What's really cute about our spa is it's a day spa. It's very, very, very bright. So the spa was actually where the old conservatory used to be, to go back to the history of the castle, and we renovated it to reflect it being a conservatory. So a lot of people think it's a glass house when they look at it, and it has an indoor pool, 7 treatment rooms. It's quite deceiving. It's in an L shape, but it's a really nice bright spa. It's not a dark spa.
And if people want to find out more, what's the website address they have to visit?
It's www.lougheskecastlehotel.com.
Dreams do come true here in Ireland. I'm in Donegal, where a castle stay awaits. Your castle stay is enhanced with afternoon tea. Katrina, we are in Donegal. You have to tell me about the tweed.
So the tweed is a cloth that is famous in this area. My family business is 5 generations of weaving, like the one that I'm wearing here.
As you stay at this magical castle, enjoy some time at the spa, and then an hour away, head to Derry Londonderry to walk the walls. What a perfect place for a walking tour. We are in Derry Londonderry, and Garvin, we can walk the walls for how long?
About 1.1 miles. Very convenient, compact, where you can actually step off, step on, see all the attractions that you have to see in the city, and of course, no traffic. Very, very important for a visitor to see the city this way.
Getting to Ireland has never been easier with Air Canada's year-round service.
We won't talk about that because we're not going on Air Canada. Okay, so those are a few little glimpses to our castle stay. And I will just go back here because I want to tell you a few things about it. There's a couple things I think you probably noticed in the video. And one of them is, it seemed like all the rooms they showed us had 4-poster beds, but apparently, and I've checked this with the hotel, they do have rooms where the beds can be separated. So for those of you who are sharing with somebody else and you don't want to sleep in the same bed, you'll be able to tell me your preference and we can have the beds separated for you. So you would not be in a room with a 4-poster bed, or it might have 2 4-poster beds, just depending. Oh, I was just wondering, is anybody interested in staying in that presidential suite for 2,500 square feet? I mean, that's double the size of my house. Here's what you can expect at Lough Eske. And you notice that there's expansive grounds. So there are walking trails. There's a lake there. So they will provide bicycles to ride, rucksacks. I guess that means like a backpack, maps, and I thought it was kind of cute the way they said rain macs instead of raincoats, and walking sticks if you do want to explore the area, the grounds. Also, we will have complimentary use of the fitness center and the swimming pool. However, if you book a spa treatment, so say if you want to book a massage, or they have a lot of different spa treatments, you will have access also to the thermal area. So there's an ice fountain, a sauna, and a steam room. I'm not sure what they mean by sanarium. I got to look that up, but they have tropical experience showers, which are really neat. The heated bench, and then an infinity pool as well. So if you're interested in booking a spa experience, I've got 2 documents that I'm going to send to you. And one of them is a listing of everything that they offer, and then the other one is the price list. And what I would suggest is that you make an appointment. There's a website or email address there, but you don't really need to worry about making your appointment till, I would say, June. That's when your final payment is going to be due anyway, but I just wanted to kind of get you thinking about it and thinking about whether you're going to want to spend the afternoon in the spa, or you're going to want to spend the afternoon hiking, or do you want to do a bit of both? Or you can book a high tea at the castle. So there are lots of options, and I don't think we're going to have enough time to do all the things that we want to do, but we did want to allow the some free time in the afternoon after we arrive, so that from the time we arrive until dinner time, you'll have some optional time that you can just do one of those things. Okay, so I do want to keep you up to date on what is required from the Republic of Ireland, and then also the UK with Northern Ireland, what the requirements are. So here's what it is right now, and of course that could change. It's been this way now since July 19th, but if they do update anything, I will let you know. So you either have to be vaccinated fully or have a negative test for COVID that you would get taken before you leave Canada, or you must have had the virus. And then you will be able to visit without any requirement of quarantining. Now, I will tell you that a number of countries have started to require a third booster shot, because especially for 2022, as we move into 2022, it's looking like everybody's going to have a booster. So that I'll keep you posted as soon as I hear that from Ireland. They haven't announced that yet, but that's what I expect is going to be coming. And I also, some other tour companies have made it a requirement across the board that all of their travelers be fully vaccinated. So that is something that Royal Irish Tours has not implemented, but it could be. So those are two things that we'll need to watch out for, and I will keep you updated on that when we do have any changes. And of course, if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to me at any time. So here's the map of where we're going to be traveling to. And I just wanted to go over quickly what is included in the tour. So we're flying into Dublin, and we're flying out of Dublin with Air Transat. And so we'll be starting and ending from Dublin. Of course, we'll have a very modern coach, and our driver will also be our guide. And we'll be staying 7 nights. 6 of those nights will be in first-class hotels, and then of course that 7th night is at the castle. We will have 7 full Irish breakfasts, and you will be well fed for breakfast. Then in the evening, we will have those 5 meals that I mentioned before. We're also going to be doing visiting a farmhouse where they're going to do a demonstration of bread making, of how they used to do it in the olden days, before we had bread makers. And something that I'm really excited about is in Derry, we will be doing a walking tour, as well as in Belfast. And you saw in that video where they were walking around the walls. And so that's something that Derry is a walled city, and we'll be able to do that wall walk when we're in Derry. So that's going to be really exciting. And then a couple of tours, and we will be cruising on the Titanic. No, we're not going to cruise on the Titanic. We're going to visit the Titanic Museum, and we are going to do a cruise on the Rose of Innisfree on Lough Eske. And then we will be doing actually another boat ride to get us over to Inishmore. And we will have a tour of Bushmills Distillery too. So all of those things are included. Now, I wanted you to just have a look at the map. You'll notice that all the stars and the green triangles, well, the green triangles are actually the places we are staying overnight. And then the stars are some places where we will be stopping. You'll notice that we'll be going from Galway right over to Dublin, and we will not be in the south of Ireland at all. So Northern Ireland, and really just the top half of the south of Ireland. So if you are interested in seeing the Cork or Limerick or some of the other areas in Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, then you might want to opt in for an extension. And I put this on just as an example. Royal Irish offers a Dublin city stay for 4 days, 3 nights, and you get your accommodation, you get your breakfast included, they include the transfers to the airport. You will get a pass, a 2-day pass for the hop-on, hop-off bus, so you can do your own sightseeing tour. And then you'll also get entrance fees tickets to the Guinness Storehouse and the Irish Emigration Museum. So if you're interested in something like that, call me, and depending on what accommodation you choose, it starts at $499 per person. There's also another, I didn't write it down, or maybe I did. No, I didn't. There's also another option that they offer, and that is a visit to Galway, Dublin, and Cork. So it's I think a 4-night or a 5-night tour, and it starts in Dublin, and then they would actually take you to those places. And it's a little bit more expensive, but it's more nights, and you would see more of the south. If you stay in Dublin, you could rent a car and visit those places very easily. Or if you're not comfortable driving, we can set you up for some day tours to the South Coast. So give me a call if that's something that you want to do, and then we can just arrange an extension on your flight so that you can stay later. So you wouldn't be coming back with the group. I only have 6 spots left on the tour. So if you have a friend, or if you know of somebody that is thinking of coming, but they haven't just made a decision, I need to know fairly soon, because I have a few people that are saying that they're interested, and I only have those 6 spots. So just a recap of the pricing. And if you are one of our American friends, please know that's in Canadian dollars. So it's a real bargain for you. And if you want to have a single room, then there's an extra $650 required. So that includes your air from Toronto and your transfers, and the 7 nights of the accommodation, and what we talked about before, the breakfast, daily breakfast, and entrance fees. So speak to me if you want to give me a deposit, and I can hold that space for you. Here are some of the FAQs that we talked about before, but I just wanted to go over them once again, because some of you weren't on the last webinar or event that we did. We are going to be traveling in August, so it will be very pleasant, 15 to 20 Celsius in the daytime, 10 to 15 at night. So kind of like what we're experiencing right now in Ontario. Also, you're going to be taking 2 different types of currency, because Northern Ireland is still part of the UK, and they are using the pound sterling. And the Republic of Ireland is part of the EU, so they're using the euro. And I'm not sure how that's going to change with Brexit and all that's happening there, and with EU talking about, you know, possibly making some changes. So we'll just monitor that. But for right now, that's what they use. And because we will be having lunches while we're on the road, or while we're touring, there's the price that you would be looking at for lunches, 10 to 15 euros. And then if you're out for dinner, 25 to 30 euros per person, you might as well budget. And of course, if you wanted to get a pint of beer, it's about 0.6 euro and 4 euro if you're in the rural areas, in the pubs there. Now, because the area we're going to be traveling to is relatively small, we aren't going to be spending a lot of time on the coach, which was really nice. So just 3 hours of driving on most days. And we will make frequent stops. And if you need a comfort break, they're calling it, or bathroom break, you'll definitely have lots of opportunity for that along the way. So this is your opportunity to ask questions. So I'm going to stop the share of the screen, because I think that was the end anyway. I don't see any questions in the chat box. So if you have a question, just raise your hand. Vicki, I'm unmuting you. Vicki's got the first question.
When you were talking about, you know, things that you want to budget, or this is, they have euros, or, you know, whatever. What about debit credit cards? Are those, will we be using that instead of carrying cash, or do you suggest carrying cash?
Credit cards are widely accepted. You could use a debit card too, but sometimes they're not as acceptable as a credit card. So I would take some cash for sure, but you can use your credit cards, especially when if it's for shopping in any stores, you can use your credit cards.
Yeah. Okay.
Nobody has any questions? Wow.
Me.
I've never,
On. Oh,
So I'm thinking interested in this extra 3 or 4 days, because that's where you pick up more of the south, right? I mean, the
yeah,
$500.
if you're interested in
So-
seeing the South Coast, you probably would want to stay on for a few days.
So they'll take you back to your flight back, right? I mean, you'll get the connection to the flight back just 4 or 5 days later, right?
Yeah. So you would
So-
still get your transfer included from your hotel. They take you right to the airport after your stay.
Yeah.
And Royal Irish has a number of different possibilities. I've just put the one on there, but there's a number of different possibilities. So if you're interested at all in that, just give me a call. We can set up a call and I can go through some of them with you, just to see what it is that you really actually want to be doing. Stan, don't you have any questions? For those of you who do not know and have never met, this is my husband, Stan. And Stan, well, Stan's going to be coming along as he's the guy who likes to corral everybody and make sure nobody gets lost if we're on one of our excursions. He's going to be the guy that's going to help you with your luggage if you need help. He's really a handy person to have along.
Yeah, I carry a bat, or actually, I guess it'll be a cane, walking stick or something. like
You'll
that.
bring your walking stick, yeah.
Yeah.
And might need to use it as a crook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remind everybody that the picture time is up, and please hold the rope and let's get going. So yeah.
Yeah, this is actually going to be a lot more relaxed than some of our Israel tours where we have so many sites to visit in a day. So you probably won't feel like you're being the bad guy on this tour. But anyway, well, the advantage of having Stan in the group is that he's the tallest person in the group, so you'll always be able to find him. And so if you're looking ahead and there's a crowd of people, you'll always see Stan, so sticking up above the crowd.
Judy?
You had a question, yeah.
Yes, I was just, the other trips we've been on, we've always collected tips for the driver.
Mm-hmm.
So will you plan on doing that again?
Good question. Yes, that's generally what I like to do, because then you don't have to worry about it. So there's a suggested amount, and I don't have it on me right now what that amount is, but a certain amount per day, and it'll be for our driver. And once we get confirmed that we are definitely getting a driver/guide, then we'll know for sure, because it's not two people, it's not a driver and a guide, and also for the hotel staff as well. So I'll let you know what that is. And then what I can do is you can just hand it to me in an envelope, and then I'll distribute it as we go through. So
And let us know if it's in euro or sterling then too.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Hey, Louise. Go ahead.
Are we gonna maybe try and get down there together, do you think? Like,
to go to the airport? Well, we're kind of spread out. So what we might arrange is the Aurelia group might be able to travel together in a van. We'll have to see, because there's not very many of us from Aurelia going.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So as far as getting to the airport, you'll be on your own to get to the airport. Vicki, did you have another question? You're muted.
I did. And it was, you were saying, well, at the castle, you could do this or this or this or this. How much actual time do we have? I noticed there's only 5 stops of overnights, the little triangles on the thing. Will we be staying 2 nights some places? And I mean, how much time will we have, say, at the castle? Do we check in typically at 3? Usually when you check into a hotel, it's 3 and then you leave at a certain time. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, well, we're going to be doing Donegal in the morning of that day, and then and a time for shopping. And basically that's it.
Oh,
And
okay.
lunch in Donegal.
Yeah.
And so then after lunch, we're going to go to the castle. So you'll have the whole afternoon. We've kind of arranged it so that you can spend, you know, some quality time there since it's such a beautiful place.
And
So
are there
that's
some
why I
places
say
you'll
there is
stay
time to book a
tonight?
massage and there's time to do a hike. Or, you know, you'll have a couple of hours for sure.
Well, I thought if you were going to do tea, you don't want to do tea and then have dinner an hour later, you know.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And will there be some places we are there 2 nights?
Yeah, I'm gonna get, if you look on my website, the itinerary is listed there. And there's a couple of places where we're staying 2 nights. In Westport, we're staying for 2 nights. And in Belfast, we're staying 2 nights.
Okay. Thanks, Judy.
Yeah. Hey, Joanne. Go ahead.
On the days that we have free time, if there's time that there's free time, if you have to book tours to things, do you have to book that in advance or?
No, like if, say, for example, one of the things that they suggested in, I guess it was actually in our last meeting, she was saying you might, the tour of the Guinness, I don't know what they call it, Guinness Museum or Guinness, whatever, in Dublin is not included, but it's very close to where we're staying. So she said that that's just something that you can choose to go to on your free time, and you don't have to pre-book it. But if it, I mean, if it was, if it's anything to do with it that could be done in the space of our free time, no, you wouldn't have to pre-book.
Okay.
Except for at the castle, if you do want to book a spa appointment, I would suggest, you know, that we need to be doing that probably a month in advance. Just to make sure that you can get the time that you want. So for those of you who don't know Joanne is married to Paul, who's my nephew, and she's also the daughter-in-law of Sharon Fraser, who is my sister-in-law. So we've got all these in-laws on the screen tonight. It's very exciting.
Quite the glasses there, Joanne.
Yeah, I like your glasses.
How long are we staying in Derry?
In Derry, we're not actually staying overnight in Derry.
Oh, is that right? Oh, okay.
But we will be, yeah, because from Donegal, we move on to Westport. But we will have, it'll be the day after we stay, like after we leave the castle, that's when we visit Derry. Or is it the day before? Actually, no, it's the day of the castle. The morning before we go to the castle is when we do the walking tour of Derry and then go on to Donegal.
Yeah, because Derry was where the Canadians landed, you know. The Navy was, that's where dropping from Halifax to Derry was important during the war. You know. I don't know if they have a museum there or anything like that.
You'll have to, we'll conscript you to look that up.
Because your dad, that's where he sailed to. Yeah.
Hey, Paul, nice to see you.
Where's Paul?
We were worried you were out of the room and you just didn't want to let us know.
I'm making dinner.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't think everybody needed to see that. But,
yeah, it smells good.
I do have a question though.
Okay, go ahead.
If I'm not able to book a massage, can you arrange for my wife to give me one?
She says no.
Oh, just asking. I thought it would be
nice try.
That'd be worth a try.
That's probably the same question Stan was going to ask. Okay. Well, we know we're going to have a fun time because Paul's going to be along. Right? Andrea, did you have a question? You're going to have to unmute yourself though.
Okay, I'm done. Okay, you had mentioned about how many euros that we would need approximately for lunch or for dinner. So how much is sterling really a must to take? Like that some places would only take sterling?
Well, to be honest, like as far as meals go, you could use a credit card. So it's probably easier to like, you can just go, I mean, your bank carries sterling and they carry euros. So if you wanted to maybe just get a little bit of money in cash, just so you have it, for, I don't even know what it would be for.
Okay.
Incidentals, but really, as far as meals go, anybody takes credit cards. So
Okay.
You're wise to have both, actually, a little bit.
yeah, just a bit. Like I don't even know what I'm thinking of, but I don't know if you would have to ever use like a pay toilet or something like that. That's the first thing that comes to my mind, is sometimes you just want to make sure you've got some coins on you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Don't want to be without that.
Yeah.
Tea and toilets.
Okay, any other questions? Have we exhausted them? Or maybe some questions will come up later. And if they do, then feel free to email me. And I'll put together a list of, I'll add them to our FAQs.
Sharon, no
And
questions?
I am going to add on about the gratuities. Thanks, Barb, for bringing that up. And I will be emailing you with the spa menus, so you can have a look at those. And so, and one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you about the spa and the castle ahead of time is because I thought, you know, with Christmas being just around the corner, you might want to tell somebody, hey, instead of buying me a gift for Christmas, I'd really love a gift certificate to this spa, or why don't you buy me a massage or buy me whatever. So that could be some, you know, a hint you might want to drop to somebody. Okay, well, I think that'll be all then. And I want to thank you very much for coming tonight. And it was really nice to see everybody. And we'll do this again a few more times. And then that way we can kind of get used to one another, and also just talk about, we'll do another highlight for another area that we're going to be on in the tour. And I'll give you a bit more information about that. And we'll just keep our sights on Ireland and all the fun we're going to have. So yes, I'm really looking forward to the trip too, Wendy. Thanks a lot. And thanks for joining. And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.